So, Shannon, what is the biggest reason the Lakers lost this one?
They lacked intensity. They came out and looked like a team that was up 2-0. And they just thought, we're going to come on out here and do what we do and not play hard. And, Skip, you could tell early on the Nuggets were getting whatever they want. They drive, lay it up in the paint. They let Yoke get to his dominant hand, his right hand. Look, he's a phenomenal player. He's going to make shots, Skip. That shot that he hit with AD with the clock winding down on the right foot. I know most guys, Skip, that's right-handed shoot that shot. Dirk Nowitzki made it famous. But he shot it off his left leg. I've never seen a right-handed guy shoot that shot off the wrong foot and make it. I mean, because when he shoots it, I expect it to go in. Everybody's like, oh, that's a bad shot, clock winding down. I expect it to go in. But I did not expect the Lakers to look this flat. We haven't seen them, even against Portland, Skip, the first game, even against the Rockets, the first game. They didn't look this flat. I'm like, bruh, do y'all realize this is the Western Conference Finals? And you mentioned it. AD, 2 rebounds, and they came in the last 5 minutes of the game. AD played 43 minutes. JaVale, 1 rebound. Dwight, 1 rebound. If you tell me, Skip, that the Nuggets will out-rebound them again by 19. If you tell me they're going to turn the ball over the Lakers, I'm going to say the Nuggets are going to win the series. But I don't believe that. I believe LeBron and AD will play better. I believe LeBron will be more aggressive. Because I thought in the third quarter, AD got it going. And it seemed like LeBron was resigned to say, you know what, AD, you got it going. Hey, we're going to keep going to AD. But, Skip, they had given up so much ground. They had dug themselves so much of a hole. Maybe if they don't allow it to get to 18-20, maybe if it's 10-12, now they can complete the comeback. But I thought the Lakers played like a team that was up 2-0, like they had a throwaway game and they threw this game away. But what in the process, what you've done is that you're giving these guys confidence because now they think they can beat you.
They do.
They feel like
Jamal Murray for sure thinks he can beat you.
Yes, and he's talking like a guy. He sounds like
we should be up 2-1.
And Skip, I've seen this story before.
Yep.
The thing is with this guy, when he gets hot, and people like those last second shots, because I saw him in Game 7. You remember the clock running down, and both times and he's throwing up threes from 30 feet, and he's switching. So he has confidence, and they're gaining confidence. But the problem that also I have, Skip, you can't have every guy that played for the Nuggets, with the exception of 2, attempt equal to or more free throws than LeBron James. That tells me he's not driving the ball, he's not aggressive enough, or they're not calling it.
Yep.
So for me, that was the difference. They just lacked intensity. They came out like a team that was 2-0 and had a game to throw away. I know for certain, and I don't care what the line is. I won't do on it right now.
You won't do?
I won't do right now.
I think I got the Lakers, but that's
No, you ain't got no Lakers. Hold on, you got to take the Nuggets.
Lakers in 5. No. Okay, but first I want to talk about what I saw last night.
Okay.
One of the weirdest flip games I've ever seen. And by the way, to your point, before we leave that alone, your man, the greatest driver of the basketball in the history of this game, the ultimate freight train at 6'9", whatever he weighs now, 250-ish. He gets to the free throw line and shoots 2 for the whole game. He's 1 out of 2.
And those are flagrant.
Huh?
Those were flagrant.
Right.
They weren't the
It was the flagrant on Jamal Murray, which I want to talk about a little later. Okay, other oddity, weirdity of the fourth quarter, the guy you were just raving about, Jokic. In the fourth quarter, Jokic took 1 shot and missed it and scored 0. And the Denver Nuggets won the basketball game. Can you please explain this to me? Well, I'm going to try.
Okay.
I'm going to start with your opening premise, which was, for some reason, the Lakers weren't into it. I thought they would go for the throat. I thought it would be a wipeout. But to wipe out Denver, you usually need to wipe them out first instead of last.
Right.
You need to put them away in the first half and then just say, we're going to keep pushing and pushing and hold on. Okay. So what did I see right away? I saw something happen very early in the game with about 5 minutes gone in the first quarter. I saw your man LeBron James guarding Jeremy Grant, who rose and shone out of nowhere on both ends of the floor last night. If we could see this play, I'm saying, King, what are you doing? Because Jeremy Grant just says, oh, watch this. And he just blows right by LeBron and shoots a left-handed layup. That was the moment when I said, to your point, okay, so you guys aren't into it tonight.
Right.
Now, let's fast forward all the way to the 10:36 mark of the fourth quarter.
Okay.
And they're still at it. There's still nobody's defending nobody here. And we see Jamal Murray get a rebound on one end of the floor. Watch this and go coast to coast. Watch this. Jamal fights for the rebound over Caruso. And here he goes. Caruso, get him. Stop ball, Rondo. Stop ball, somebody. Somebody stop ball. And he just keeps dribbling, and he flat out slams it in their face. And this was like the ultimate humiliation, and he shimmied a little bit off that one just as he did on that last second three. And my point to you is, at 10:36, that dunk made it a 20-point game. It's 97-77. What? The Lakers are down 20 early in the fourth quarter, and they look like they're dead in the water.
Yep.
I tweeted, it looks like they're quitting. I'm not saying they've quit yet, but they're quitting.
Right.
And then guess what happened? Your man came to life. The first thing he does, LeBron, was, and again, they're desperately, hopelessly behind, but he shoots a three, and he finally makes one.
Right.
And that's 10:05 left. And I still didn't think much of what was about to happen. Right. But he all of a sudden, he ignites, he electrifies, he leads them on an incredible 21-4 run. Mm-hmm. How hard is it to go on a 21? It happened in 5 minutes.
Right.
It demonstrates to everybody out there how much better the Lakers are than the Nuggets. They just are. They're just better all the way because their two best players are considerably better to me than these guys' two best players. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, King says, I got this. And all of a sudden, he goes on fast break dunk. Then he goes on a fast break layup. And then he gets another fast break layup. And it's just boom, 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 boom. Mm-hmm. And they have him on the run. He stole the ball. Rondo stole. Rondo was disrupting, obviously, on defense.
He seemed to be the only one that came to play last night.
Okay, all right, for a little while. And all of a sudden, LeBron makes an uncontested, just a driving layup with 5:26 left. Nobody even really challenged him.
Right.
He just laid it up off the glass. Mm-hmm. And guess what? They're down 3.
Right.
It's 101-98, and we got a ball game because we got 5:26 left. What are you thinking at that point? Aren't you thinking, we got this?
I was thinking, Skip, if we can just tie it up.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
We can just tie it up.
Which brings me to the shot of the game. For me,
KCP?
This is the shot. No. He shot it before.
Okay.
He did have a shot at it, but 3:58 left. And again, I am honoring your contention. Mm-hmm. This is the GOAT. This is the guy who thought he should have won MVP, that I thought should have won MVP, and he came up with an MVP moment shot. If we could see the three that he took a step back. Mm-hmm. This is 3:58. This is to tie the game. This is okay. This is the this is the drive. Okay, this is the drive. Okay, that's just like Jokic has no chance. It's like, stop it. Okay, so now here we go again. Step back three. This is to tie. And if this goes in, I got to tell you, I think it's ball game. Yeah. Because Denver is going to be psychologically crushed that they blew a 20-point lead. And he missed it side badly. It was just way wide left. And I thought when he shot it, it was going to go in because it felt like they had Denver completely dead to rights on the run, where they were just psychologically devastated. Right. And instead, he missed it. And then he comes down with 3:05 left, and he has a little step back in the lane from 8 feet, and this was to cut it to 2. And I thought they still had a real chance. This is the three again. Okay, here's the next play. Okay, this is for him.
This is his shot, Skip.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is what he does. This is what he does.
This is shot right here.
And he's pretty open.
Yes.
And he just missed it.
Yep, sure.
Okay, so LeBron James had a sensational fourth quarter, because if we just look at the raw numbers.
And those were the two shots that he missed.
I know. In 6 of 8, he scored 13 points. But the problem was he scored 11 of his 13 in the 21-4 run.
Right.
It only covered 5 minutes down to the 5:25 mark.
Right.
And then he has 2 chances to just get it. These are devastating shots, and he didn't. He got them right to the threshold, and they wouldn't have been to the threshold without him. He could not get them over the threshold.
Skip, you remember when they had a fast break, and AD passed the ball to Rondo, and Rondo fumbled it out of bounds.
Okay.
I mean, it's just things like that where you're like, you know what? Skip, in the first half, what about Caruso? Skip Caruso is 5 feet from the basket.
And he loses the ball sideways. He shoots it behind the basket.
I like Caruso.
It might be the worst shot I've ever seen.
He hit a Paul George, but at least Paul George was from the three-point.
I think he was going to try to arc it over the back, and he just lost it a little to the right, and it looked really ugly.
And he missed a layup earlier. I mean, they missed like 3 or 4 point-blank layups.
So to your point, as much of a fan favorite as he is, I'm not sure he's ready for prime time, because look at the final box here. Caruso goes 1 for 7 and 0 for 4 from 3. I don't know if you can live with that. 4 turnovers.
Skip, he had some great looks. He had 2 of his threes rimmed out. I mean, they were down like, ooh, that's nice, and it just like, and it spun out. But Skip, he plays hard. Look, for an undrafted guy, he gives you effort. He tries. He gives you everything. He doesn't cheat you, Skip. And I think that's the thing, and that's something to be said. The Lakers need to understand this team feels like they belong. Skip, you don't get to in a series sport, you don't get to the conference championship without belonging, because it's not a one-off. You got to beat somebody 4 times. If somebody beats somebody 4 times racing, they says that guy is faster.
That is true.
If somebody can beat somebody in a fight, if I fight somebody 4 times, they're going to say that guy's just better. Well, they beat the Clippers 3 times in a row. They beat them 4 out of 7. Yep. They did the exact same thing to Utah. Yep. So they belong here. They're not in awe. This great story of the Lakers winning the championship, LeBron's getting number 4, AD, yada, yada, yada. They're trying to wreck this story. I want you to understand that the Nuggets are trying to wreck your fairy tale ending, Lakers. Well, and if you don't take them serious, they will.
Wreck the Clippers' fairy tale ending, right?
They did.
Okay, so now to the most stunning stat of the night. The most stunning stat I've seen in a long time is that the Lakers got out-rebounded 44 to only 25.
Right.
To LeBron's credit, he had 10 rebounds.
Right.
So he had 10 of their 25 rebounds. So he gets 0 blame for this.
Right.
Do you realize the 25 rebounds tied for the fewest the Lakers have had since 2006?
Right.
In regular or postseason.
Right.
2006. We have to go back 14 years to find a game in which they had only 25 rebounds. Well, what do we always say about it's just desire.
It's desire. Absolutely.
It's just your heart. It's just, do you care or not care? Do you want it or not want it? And apparently last night, the bigs especially did not care and did not want it. Okay, so what do I always say about these games? In the end, when you boil them all down, it's just a 3-point shooting contest.
Right.
The Lakers are a below-average 3-point shooting team.
You being nice.
Okay, and they have survived because they've had a couple of little hot streaks in the first 2 rounds that got them over the hump. But last night, they shoot 6 for 26. Well, that's not going to win you a lot of games.
No.
Because that's 23.1%, right?
Yes.
Okay. Denver wasn't a whole lot better, but 11 of 29 is 37.9%. So look what happened.
Well, you're plus 15.
Plus 15 from the 3-point line.
And you're plus 9 from the free throw line.
Plus 9 from the free throw line. That's 24 points that you gave away at 2 lines.
Right.
Well, the odds are you're probably not going to win that game.
Exactly right. Unless your 2 superstars go bananas. They go, instead of LeBron having 30, he has 40. Instead of AD having 27, he has 35. It's going to take effort like that to overcome this. Skip, I didn't realize this because I'm looking, I'm like, well, damn, I haven't seen AD get a rebound yet. And it wasn't until I'm talking to Steve. Steve, like, AD just had 2 rebounds.
He did.
And he only got those the last 5 minutes of the ball game. Skip, AD 6'10".
Yep.
Dwight Howard 6'10 and a half, JaVale 7 feet. You got 3 guys 6'10 or taller, and they give you 4 rebounds. AD played 43 minutes.
He did.
43 and gave you 2?
And
what kind of stat line is that, Skip? 27, 2, and 1. What kind of stat line is that?
And by the way, for 3/4 of the night, I thought he played out of control. Like he forced shots. He had an offensive, he had a charge. He's just forcing up shots where I knew as soon as he forced it up, he didn't believe in it and he didn't make it.
AD, don't get caught up in, be aggressive. You can be aggressive, but you got to be under control.
he gets his points in the flow better than
yes,
he's
yes,
so gifted.
yes.
But he doesn't have that I'm going to slit your throat
right,
mentality.
Right.
He needs to just get in a rhythm
right.
and stay right in the flow. Oh, I got this shot. I'll make this shot. Give me the ball and I'm going to create.
Some guys are like that one-on-one.
Yep.
Jordan was a great one-on-one player. You score, I'll come back at you. Kobe, get your score. James Harden, that's their game. That's not AD. AD is a flow. Okay, AD, get to your spot where you want it at. On left block, okay, do what you do. That's what he is. But to try to get the ball out high and then try to go, I understand he had Jeremy Grant on him. He feels he can take him. But the guy had hunkered down, and you ran right through his chest. I mean.
Okay. So they switched Millsap onto AD for much of the night last night, and he's stout and he's physical and he's a shrewd operator because he's been doing this for a long time. He bothered him a little bit, maybe more than usual. Then the Lakers turned the tables in the fourth quarter, and I'm going to be curious to see if they go back to this. When they made their run, they started playing zone.
Right.
Now, again, you can't play zone when Denver's just raining threes.
Well, I think the thing is that kind of like what they did with Houston, jump in and out of it, and it caught them off guard. I'm sure the Nuggets will be practicing and be expecting this, but I wouldn't be surprised if they started Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard is a better matchup because
totally agree.
He's able to bang more with Yoke. JaVale tries, but JaVale just doesn't have enough weight down low to stop him from backing him down. But Dwight needs to skip. You fouled a guy. They called a foul, and then you throw the ball over the top of the back. Skip, what the hell? Dwight, come on. And it's like every 1 to 2 minutes, Dwight Howard's going to get a foul. And they ticky-tack, they're dumb fouls that he doesn't have to just play ball.
Yep.
You can't put this team on the foul line.
Yep.
And that's what they did, Skip. That's how they got the lead. Jeremy Grant had 12 free throw attempts. Jeremy Grant.
He did. By far the most of any player on
the team. Skip, you can't allow a team's third best player, if he's their third, he might be their fourth best, to have 26 points.
Cannot.
You can't. Because
you better not allow Monte Morris to have 14 and make a couple of big threes.
Yes,
not.
28, 22, 26.
Yep.
And you did a great job of control. But Yoke got it going early. Yoke did most of his damage in the first 3 quarters, Skip. And they got that lead, and so Mike Malone seemed to be very resigned. It's like, I'm going to let him rest in the fourth. And it wasn't until the Lakers made their run, it's like, we got to get somebody in, got to get him back in the ball game.
So in the end, this game to me came down to these 2 biggest superstars who are obviously his perimeter type players, LeBron, and he had 6 turnovers. Well, it's just too many.
He had 5 in the first half.
He's a lot of his passes are getting tipped up in the air because they are active they were more active last night. And then Jamal Murray. After the game, Mike Malone said, he's finally becoming a superstar. Last year, said Mike Malone, I'm paraphrasing, he said, I knew Yoke would be a superstar, but I didn't know whether Jamal would end up superstarring for us last year, but he is now. So last night he goes 28, 8 rebounds, and 12 assists.
He had some heck of assists because they caught him and they thought they had him dead right up in the air, and he looked like he bounces to Millsap. Or he bounces to Jeremy Grant. Skip, do you realize that AD did not take a shot after the 7-minute mark in the fourth quarter?
No good.
He had 7 points.
Yep.
But nothing. No shots. Remember, he got fouled on the 3-point attempt. He made 3 free throws.
He did. 17
is not enough. If LeBron has 23, he needs to be 23, 25 shot attempts. But I ain't worried. I'm more convinced than ever we're going to be remaining in the bubble for another 2 weeks.
This should be a cakewalk.
Hey, don't do this, Skip. Skip, I'm not going to allow you to do that.
And I'm not going to allow you to somehow try to spin last night as evidence about how hard the path is for LeBron.
It is.
It's not hard.
Hold on.
They should not have lost this game.
Hold on. So what do you say about the Clippers? They shouldn't have lost 4 games then, right? They lost 4. 3 straight. Let that sink in for just a second, Skip Bayless. The team that you said is a cakewalk beat the most mentally tough, the best 2-way player, one of the best players. They gave up a king's ransom. And that team walked them 3 straight.
Maybe you should take heed.
Oh, I know what they represent.
Maybe you should be sweating a little bit.
I know what they represent. But if you're going to tell me they're going to out-rebound the Lakers by 19, if you're going to tell me the Lakers are going to turn the ball over like they did last night, okay, I'm going to say, Skip, we're going to have a ball game.
All I know is you have allowed them to feel real good about themselves right now.
Yeah, they smell it themselves.
Yep.
But we put some deodorant on them.
Yep.
We'll cut that funk out. We're going to stop that. Watch Thursday night. LeBron had probably about 40-point triple-dub.
40 points?
I feel it.
I got a case on that right now.
40-point triple-dub.
Okay, I'll say I'll take under 40 for a case right now.
Give me 35.
35?
35 triple-dub.
You said 40. Why would I give you 35?
Because AD going to get 35 too.
Huh.
That's why. That's why.
Okay, I'll take under 35 tandem for both of them. They both have to go 35 or more. I'll take that.
I'm saying they'll have 70 points combined, those two.
Those two 70?
70.
Okay, for one case,
Okay.
I'll do it. Okay.
Saw you coming,
Done.
Skip. Saw you coming.
Oh, you
Just
saw
like
me.
that.
Saw you coming.
All right.
Well, you didn't see the Nuggets coming.
No, I didn't see them playing like.
No, you missed that one.
Like they rolled out of bed. It's like, oh, we got a game to play. Okay, let's go.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.